Bonjour, mes amis. I'm here to tell you all about Lycée Henri IV, which is the premier high school in France. It all started out as a church because around 506, that would be 506, no thousands before it, Clovis, after the victory over the Visigoths, laid the foundations of a church on the tomb of Saint Genevieve on the mountaintop that is where the school sits today, and he's buried there. Clotilda completed the basilica after the death of Clovis. The monks who served there built the abbey that surrounds it, and they had difficulties for hundreds of years because people were just mean to them. And in the 13th century, the canons regular of St. Augustine had schools and copyists there, so the place became very special to the university. The 200 years between 15 and 1700, under the various Louis, it was run by a Cardinal Rochefoucauld, and he endowed it with a library, and over 40 years managed to gain 8,000 volumes, and there's great pictures of the library here. It became very prestigious and kind of a princely hermitage, and they added a cabinet of curiosities in addition to the library. There were antiques and medals and coins and everything, and so it became very influential until the Revolution. In 1790, the buildings were declared national property, so the public had meetings there, the library was opened up to everybody, and then the government said, hey, you know what, let's set up écoles centrales throughout France, and we're going to have 3 big schools, and the premier one is going to be the École Centrale du Panthéon, because this place is right near the Pantheon. And they also chose it as the centerpiece because of the intellectual prestige of the Montagne Saint Genevieve, and the library's size was huge, plus its natural history cabinet and its cabinet of physical science instruments, which was that cabinet of curiosities I talked about earlier. But people soon realized that only the rich kids were getting in, and so everyone complained about it. And then it became the first high school in the Republic named after Napoleon. And every time there was a regime change, it'd go between Napoleon and Henry IV, until finally they just, after the Second Empire, named it Lycée Henri IV. While they were digging around in April 1996 doing some work under one of the classrooms, they found the Chapel of Mercy from 1190. It had been forgotten for 2 centuries, and they found a bunch of architecture and sculptures, including a tombstone of a canon chancellor of the university and a decorated paving of the 13th century in reuse. And they copied those and they put them on the classroom walls, which was pretty cool. In April of 1998, the whole place was named a historical monument, so they really can't do anything bad to it from now on. And I'm just going to let you enjoy the book porn for bibliophiles like me. I took a lot of pictures of the library because it was gorgeous. This was a little bit of interesting history, but this door to the library didn't open for 200 years because somebody lost the key, and then suddenly one day somebody found it, and now it opens up. D'accord, mes amis, à bientôt, bonne nuit.